a lot of times I think what stopped me from pursuing opportunities is I was afraid to ask if they would let me shadow, or if they would let me intern, or if I could do this. And getting over that fear is really important, because a lot of people want to help you. I mean, most people want to help you grow as a person and figure out what you want to do, and so I would just encourage you to ask. And it's the worst thing they can do is say no, and it's your life will go on if they say no. But a lot of times they will say yes. So
the first thing is an informational interview where you just ask them about their career path. The second is asking them for an opportunity to work with them for a day or whatever. It's kind of like you maybe did in high school or elementary with your parents. It's a similar process. And that very often will lead to other opportunities, or you figure out you don't like it. Don't do it. Anybody else have some shadowing experience that was interesting?
I mean, I had a friend who, her dad was the vice president of the hospital that I lived near, so I got pretty lucky in that sense that I just called him and asked if he had any opportunities. I will say it was a little awkward because they actually didn't have intern opportunities. I kind of got there and he didn't really know what to do with me, but I just kept saying, I'm free help, like, put me anywhere, and so I ended up kind of shadowing around the hospital, doing different things, so it definitely became more of an opportunity for me. And then towards the end, they found an area where they really needed help in the volunteer services department, and that's where I really grew and kind of developed my resume and things like that, which is so, I mean, I would just say, again, connections are important. I just kind of put some feelers out and said, does anybody know of a place needing help, and this is what happened. So I definitely think it's not bad to use your friends and family and things like that to find opportunities.
Okay. Encouraging.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything to add? Yeah.
I mean, I told you guys a little bit about how I shadowed at email, but honestly, just getting in contact with HR, a lot of times they're very, very willing to set it up, and I didn't realize that until I got to the email, and she was like, we have people come shadow all the time, and all you have to do is contact them, and they'll set it up for you. You might have to contact them more than once, because they get a lot of emails every day, yours might accidentally get deleted, or they want to know that you're really interested in the position, so they want to see you email more than once, which was my case, and that's what I had to do with the contact that I had. And when I initially reached out to him, I just told him what I was interested in, why I was interested in BML, and just asked him for advice. And then he was willing to set up a phone call with me and then brought me down for a job shadow and set the whole thing up for me. He's more than willing to help me. Those Truman alumni really like Truman students, so if you can find a connection like that, that's really awesome.
So this probably applies more to CS specifically, but you probably apply it to any field that works less with people and more with like creating something. So like at least for CS, you don't really shadow because I don't know what you would do except just sit at the computer with someone. But what really is a good thing to do is to do any type of like thing that you can say, show this is what I've done. Because when I applied to Boeing, I actually only had like one completed computer science class, and then I was in some, but I think what pushed my resume over the edge for them is that starting my sophomore year, I took a scholarship job with ITS as a student web developer, and I actually did something. And even though I didn't like necessarily show them, I could have shown them like this is stuff I've actually done, and it was like really small potato stuff. But still, I had something versus nothing. So for like majors that work less with people, just do something, anything you can put
What's
under
the
there.
experience? Yeah.
On that note, the Career Center is hiring, and I really, really encourage you guys to look for jobs that aren't just a whole desk job, because this is a great opportunity to get experience, put some skills on your resume, and it may not be exactly what you want to do, but it's an awesome opportunity to gain some transferable skills like customer service, communication. There's so many things that you can do, like working for ITS or working for the Career Center or CSI. You can really gain some valuable experience, and you have to anyways keep your community scholarship. So the Career Center is hiring. Come by and get an application. We would love to have you.
And I'll add on to that. So I work at the Career Center, so obviously I love it. This is my third year working there. But I'm a biology major. And so right now I'm the social media communications intern at the Career Center. And so when you say that to people, they're like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And so I'd also encourage you to try something that's outside of your major. It's great if you're still testing the waters and you want to see if like that career is for you, but it's also going to give you a different skill set than directly what you're going to get from your major. So I have a lot of technical skills from my major, but working in the Career Center gives you a lot of, or working anywhere that's outside of your field, it's gonna hone in a different set of skills. And then you can come to an employer or a graduate school and be like, look, I'm really good at my major, but I also have all of these outside skills and outside experiences that really make me the complete package. So I'm not just this major, but I'm this major and I come with these set of skills and these experiences that would make me a well-rounded candidate. And so I would encourage you guys to also branch out and try something that maybe doesn't seem traditional for you or for your career paths or your majors, and just try something new. And it will give you a lot of different skills.
A couple selling points to have the best resume on campus, because you work in the Career Center, that's what we do. You'll also know when jobs are being posted. You're the first to know when things are out there and opportunities are available. So it really is an awesome position.
For those of you who are freshmen who are going to need a scholarship job next year, we just found this out by fluke, that the True Positions site doesn't open up until March. So if you're trying to, you can see listings, but for freshmen, you can't really apply through there as far as for scholarship jobs because it's not opening up. So in our particular case, for all offices, it's the same thing. But in our particular case, we have a separate application, and that's the end of our promo for the Career Center. Yeah, right.
I do have a similar plug that may speak
good.
to some other people. I work at the Writing Center, which is also a very good experience for a lot of different fields. Good writing skills are appreciated in almost all jobs, as you mentioned before. And we really encourage hiring people that are not English majors because of just the perspectives that you bring and your ability to help people. It's really helped my ability to communicate with people and to work constructively on making something better, in this case making papers better. You can pick up an application, Writing Centers in Carolina, very cool, I've never been there.
I love this. That's great. What's interesting from all the people who are talking here, all of you undoubtedly have some experience on campus, but just think in terms of what you can gain. Don't think of, oh, I have to do a scholarship job, oh, I have to do this. Think of it as the opportunity it's affording you to gain skills. I mean, this is invaluable what you do with ITS. That really gave you that opportunity, honestly. Volunteer experience in the community is invaluable as well. You can develop a lot of skills through that, and it doesn't have to be outside of Kirksville. There are opportunities within Kirksville, as you guys know. I mean, okay, Chelsea does Relay for Life. You did Great Circle and lots of different things involved with that. Probably other people have been involved with the Historical Society, different things that are going on in the local community. And as far as job shadowing or informational interviews, if you don't think you know anyone, let me know. I know a lot of people. But locally, like one example. Did you guys know we have an FBI office in Kirksville? They don't have a lot of work to do here. They're very, very willing to talk to you if anybody's interested in that career path and wants to learn more about it. I've set up a lot of people to go talk to them, but they'll be at the career fair also next week. But it's just different offices, different locations. There are opportunities to at least talk to someone who's working in that field, and if you need help with that, we're happy to do that. What other types of things? Any questions from you guys? That come up with some questions. What types of internships? Yes.
Does the Writing Center accept volunteers? Like,
Do you mean you don't need a scholarship?
I can't get, I'm an essay, so you can't have another job, but like, I wanted that experience.
Yes, we do hire people for institutional pay. Are you allowed to do that?
No.
How lucky for
Wow.
you.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. I would, if you're interested in just getting the experience, I would apply anyway. I can't imagine that we would turn anyone down that was offering free work. I would apply, go for it.
Okay.
Anybody else? Different things? Yes.
I've been applying for internships that are outside of my major, but I don't feel like I've been getting any feedback or replies from the company simply because I don't have a whole lot of experience with those things. Do you guys have any suggestions or tips?
Like, what's your major?
I'm an English major and I've been applying to a lot of like PR and marketing sort of.
What year?
I'm a junior.
Oh, okay.
Get a contact. Find somebody that can get to know you and vouch for you. that's kind of what mine was. I didn't have any experience in user experience is what I was applying for. And they immediately threw my application out because I didn't have that major and because I knew him. He went down and fought for me to be put back into the pool. And they picked me for a project management position instead because he was like, here's all the things that she can do. And so they put me into that role because I didn't have the user experience. But like having him on my side was very, very beneficial. And it's not like we had a previous relationship. I met him via email. I reached out to him. So LinkedIn.
Connections are
Yeah.
absolutely invaluable. LinkedIn, any of you have a LinkedIn account? I would really, really encourage you to use it. It's the best thing ever. The alumni group, Truman Alumni Group, it could be your very best friend.
Yeah. Where are you applying PR-wise?
Like St. Louis
Your
area.
St. Louis area? Okay. Because I know a lot of Kansas City area people, but.
If you can't get like a contact, and that's also like really scary. Believe it or not, I don't necessarily like to start conversations with people. I'd rather just like let them come to me and let that happen. But if you're a little scared to like reach out to somebody, to make sure your resumes or your applications are really tailored. So yes, it's gonna say that you have an English major on there, but go ahead and highlight those PR skills. So let's say that you're a part of another group on campus and you did a fundraiser. So maybe talk about, you ran an advertising campaign that ran campus-wide and attracted, 30 people to this event, or you raised so much money. Maybe you managed the social media for that group or something like that. So really tailor your resume to showcase those skills that you want them to see, so they can hopefully see past the just, she's an English major, she's not gonna fit. So really make sure in your resume or your applications you're hitting those points that they're asking for. So kind of give them a second thought. Additionally, the PR team at the Career Center is hiring, so you could get some real work experience there as well.
I think a big part of applying for any internship that's like maybe not exactly what you're doing in school is just tailoring the experiences that you've had. So it's kind of along the same lines, but like, I don't know, Katie and I are both on the student activities board, and like neither of us are really in fields that are directly involved with event planning, but there are aspects of that like we can apply to a job. Like even if it's something that seems as simple as like leading a small group meeting or something like that, finding a way to just like make the experiences that you have pop out, I think is very important in that search. Additionally, for PR, you might also look into companies that aren't PR companies. Like a lot of PR organizations, like a lot of PR is done in-house in like certain organizations. Like the Nelson does all of their own PR. A lot of like nonprofit groups are looking for people who do PR in within their own organization. So it might not be like that you're a PR intern at a PR firm, but you could be a PR intern at a different company or organization and still get a lot of really valuable experience and learn in that way.
One example in St. Louis is the orchestra has PR interns. Now they're unpaid because it's a nonprofit, but St. Louis Symphony. But they do have those opportunities. A really, really good website to see is called the Rome Group, and it's a listserv for nonprofits in the St. Louis area. The Rome Group. But I think several of you were talking about that you created your own internship. A few of you did anyway. Think in terms of that. Make the contacts, as these guys are saying. Find some people. Talk to your parents. Talk to your neighbors. Talk to whomever is out there. But then also that LinkedIn, Truman Alumni Group, you can do a lot of searching on that to find people. And all you do is ask for advice. You're not asking for a job. That's a kind of a turnoff, But if you're asking for their advice, they may know someone who's looking or would create an opportunity for you.
Yeah, like my mom was a secretary at an elementary school, and I was applying for advertising. She's like, oh, one of my friends works for Barkley. I had no idea that she had a friend that worked for Barkley. I've never met her in my life, but she was willing to sit down and talk to me about it. And like Jessie Poole worked for Barkley last summer, and she somehow knew the vice president. She used to babysit for the vice president of Barkley.
That's how she found it.
So like you never know who you're gonna meet or who your parents know. Like just ask them.
It's a good conversation to have. Any other questions from the group here? What types of opportunities are you looking for?